Alright, guys, listen. I talk GCSE. That means I translate Shakespeare from what on earth this man's saying into plain English that you can write in an exam. So let's go. So, today, what we're going to talk about is Macbeth, and specifically Lady Macbeth. And is she ambitious? Does she influence Macbeth? And the big one, how far does Macbeth or how far does Shakespeare present her in that way? And yes, we're doing it the GCSE way: quotes, methods, meanings, effect, but without making it feel like a punishment. So here we are in Act 1, Scene 5. Lady Macbeth is speaking. She's just read a Macbeth's letter about witches saying he'll be king. And she's basically like, right, cool, so how do we make that happen quickly? Now look at the question at the bottom. Starting with this extract, explain how far you think Shakespeare presents Lady Macbeth as an ambitious woman with influence over her husband. So, and it tells you exactly what to write, how Shakespeare presents Lady Macbeth in this extract, and how Shakespeare presents her in a play as a whole. So, in terms of GCSE translation, you can't just simply talk about the extract and just expect them to give you full mark. You must do two different things here. One's the extract analysis, and the other one is whole play links. Always answer how far, because you are weighing it up. Think of how far, like, yes, she did it, but also, so it needs to have a balanced argument. Now, the extract itself is Lady Macbeth basically rating Macbeth like a product review, technically. Great ambition, terrible morals, would not recommend for murder. So when we go on to the next slide, this is where everything comes together. This is the extract, and yes, we need to try and annotate this. I do want to tell you guys, examiners don't expect you to annotate every single line. Examiners also know that students can't learn the whole Macbeth extracts every single time, and questions can be different. So what my suggestion is to read the extract once, read the extract again, and try and understand where this extract is from, what act are we talking about, what's the pre-extract information or post-extract what's happened, and try and make sense of the extract. To pick up words and phrases that make sense to you. So you should have done enough practice yourself to try and understand this. But if you feel like you need to be able to annotate every single line, that's incorrect. You don't. You just need to be able to analyze where it is in the play, and generally it tells you in the exam some pretext from the play. And then just make sure you understand some words and phrases and you know roughly what's happening. So line by line annotation is really not needed. But for information purposes and understanding purposes, I've actually written down every single line. I've annotated this for you. So let me just take you on to the next page. So this was the whole of our extract, and we should be able to pick words and phrases, annotate them. But for this video purposes, as you can see, I've annotated both the slides for you. So you stop, read each line, make your notes, and then restart the video. Now this slide is gold because it tells students exactly how to structure the essay. Let's make it super simple, guys. Introduction should be 2 sentences directly answering how far. So you don't waffle, you don't retell the story. You say something like, Shakespeare presents Lady Macbeth as ambitious and influential at first, but later something changes. So we're just giving a little introduction, not throwing away our main points at this point. Then we go on to paragraph 1, with its extract focus. So use 2 or 3 quotes from the extract. Point, evidence, analysis, and link back to the question. Point is what it shows, quote is the evidence, analysis is the method and the meaning, and linking back to the question is the ambition and the influence. Now, in paragraph 2, we talk about elsewhere in the play, ambition. Paragraph 3, we talk about elsewhere in terms of influence and change. And thereafter, we write our conclusion. This is basically your essay's recipe. GCSE loves recipes. So just make sure you have this little plan in your mind. Otherwise, what I see with students is that they waffle around too much. So in this next slide, it's exactly the same slide. So if you panic, just follow the order. Intro, extract, whole play, ambition, whole play, influence, change, and conclusion. Now we go on to the model answer. We move on to an example answer. And I'm going to explain what it's doing well, because copying this style is what's going to get you marks. You don't have to write down the exact things that I'm explaining in the answer, but following this style of writing is going to ensure a clean, nice way of writing, a clean, nice structure. Now it starts off with a clear argument, as you can see. Lady Macbeth is ambitious and influential at the start, but later her power is undermined by guilt and collapse. And our paragraph 1 specifically zooms into Act 1, Scene 5. It says she responds with urgency and determination. It points out she's focused on the crown more than the morals, where it says milk of human kindness. It's a metaphor, it's about compassion. She thinks ambition needs ruthlessness. Then another line we can talk about is to catch the nearest way, which shows she believes in shortcuts that are necessary. And then talk about the illness should attend it. That's a strong analysis because it shows the contrast. Macbeth wants power. Lady Macbeth embraces evil to get it. So she seems more ambitious and more ruthless, and that is exactly what students should do. Show the character trait, prove it with language methods. Now again, this is just a continuation. Now paragraph 2 basically talks about the influence and the whole play context. She commands him, she has authority. Valour of my tongue. Valour of my tongue basically is her weapon, is speech, it's persuasion. So the paragraph is basically saying Lady Macbeth is influential because she manipulates Macbeth's mindset using language. And because there is a lot of information in each of the slide, just ensure that we are pausing the slide and just writing things down properly. This also mentions that she pressurizes Macbeth, attacks his masculinity, emotional manipulation, and pushes him into violence. And lastly, we do understand what happens in the end. It's actually after Duncan's murder, Macbeth starts acting alone, arranges killings without her, so her control kind of weakens. And Lady Macbeth also is known to be doing sleepwalking, imagining blood on her hands, and guilt. So what that shows is her ambition sparks at first crime, but she just can't handle the consequences. So the conclusion sums it up: ambitious, influential early on, but in the end has a lot of guilt and madness. Shakespeare warns ambition is actually destructive. And this is where I turn into a YouTuber for 2 seconds. Don't forget to subscribe, because if you don't, Lady Macbeth will pour her spirits into thine ear. And honestly, that sounds like a headache. But seriously, if you've made it this far, you now understand what the exam wants. Lady Macbeth is equal to ambition plus influential, but early on. She manipulates him, but she eventually collapses under guilt. So I hope this has made sense. If so, please Don't forget to subscribe, follow the channel because I post a lot of videos on GCSEs. Thank you.